Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet again another episode of Jack It Off, the show where I discuss everything under the sun, whether it be funny things in my life, or just overall pop culture topics. Hooray. My channel totally is in a mess right now. Alright, I know, uploads are a little bit weird, but trust me, uploads are coming soon after this video, which should be like less than a week. Yeah, less than a week, I'm confident. Let's talk about E3. Yeah, I watched it, and you don't care about my opinions on it, but damn well, I'll tell you anyway. So, E3 was, probably the worst that we've seen in a long time. This year was terrible, actually. We've had, you know, some, like, overall the quality, I feel, of just every company was just kind of lower. Even at their best, like, every quality was kind of bleh. I don't know how to describe it other than that. So, let's start off with the Xbox conference. Now, I fairly like the Xbox conference, and I have a list of all the games that they showed, which the thing that really annoys me for some reason in the, in popular opinion, any game that gets shown, or not shown, any game that's the most popular or wanted to be shown immediately wins said conference. This is stupid for multiple reasons, mostly because, like I think, like, quantity over quality for me is kind of what I'm looking for when it comes to a conference, you know? If you show me lots of games, I'll be generally happy. Even if they're all CGI trailers, I guarantees there's one of them out of the bunch that I'm gonna really like. Versus just, you know, showing one big one and then just the rest kind of being, you know, that kind of, that's kind of the attitude I have towards these things. So we had Outer Worlds, seems weird. Bleeding Edge, I'll make a video about this, trust me. There's a website about this. No one's really covered the details. No one really knows what the game's about. I'm gonna have to cover up on the topic because nobody knows when they're talking about this game. And obviously it's Ninja Theory related, which I want to know. Also, Emo Man Tameen wasn't there. Who obviously directed DMC Devil May Cry. So it's weird that we got the other guy instead, Matthew, which yeah, he really likes those kinds of games. He was a lot of the important behind a lot of the marketing stuff. So it's very interesting to see that he's making a game that he enjoys, and hopefully, I pray that Tameen's working on something else, or Ninja Theory in general are working on something else. Single player wise, because a lot of people want something single player, obviously, out of Ninja Theory. And I think that since they've divided their teams so many damn times, and especially with Microsoft's help, and they don't have to, you know, be corporate slaves. Well, I'm saying that because they're under Xbox, which means they're also corporate slaves. But yeah, hopefully this is one out of many teams that are working on different things, hopefully, because Ninja Theory is overall has spread itself very thin when it comes to certain things. So, and that too, and this apparently has been in development for years now. So, this should be interesting. We've got Ori and the Will of the Wisp, okay. Minecraft Dungeons, most of them haven't played Diablo, but most of the Minecraft players I'm speaking of anyway. I don't see the point in that, because that's kind of like the opposite of Minecraft, isn't it? I don't know. Daddy Phil came out. Star Wars The Fallen Order. I'm not going to be going over E3's conference, mostly because it was garbage, and that's usually how most of them are. I watched the Jedi, and then I was out. I didn't care about anything else, because there was nothing else to care about. If you say that there is, shut up, you're lying. Oh, yeah, we have, the Blair Witch. That one seems kind of interesting. Seems like a narrative mystery, almost. You can expect every, reactionary YouTuber on the face of the planet to cover that game. But we'll have to see. Cyberpunk. I was hoping a bit more, other than a CGI trailer, but hey, Keanu was there. So, Wind Over the Mountain Man. He's, I don't know. It's cool, I guess. It seems like showing off one of the killings. Well, one of the endings. It seems. At least I theorized that. I think what we saw was just an ending. Yeah, I don't know. Cyberpunk. I don't think it was as good as last year's. For certain. Or well, that was mostly just like music and stuff. Maybe. I guess I'm pretty spoiled after the hour of gameplay footage that we saw. So, I mean, there's probably a much cooler ending, and they didn't want to show that off or spoil that one. So, that makes sense. Battletoads, The Legend of Reich, Dead, Static Drive. Okay, Battletoads just looks like a Flash game. I'm sorry. If you love that game, I do not care. It's a Flash game, okay? And I don't mind being a Flash game, but it doesn't seem like it has like a lot of super amounts of quality to it. And I don't know. Psychonauts 2, okay. Maybe I might actually play the Psychonauts series since a sequel is coming out. Maybe. So they did this montage thing that was really frustrating, is that they showed off a multitude of games within like a few seconds. So a few of these things I can't really give my opinions on, like After Party and all this other stuff, because it was literally 2 seconds of gameplay, so I cannot judge by any means on anything. So, wonderful. Thanks, Microsoft. Thanks. Indie developers could need the extra time, but hey. Xbox Game Pass coming for PC. Neat. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like my Game Pass, and a lot of these games are coming on Game Pass, so I should be able to know some of these. But the thing is that I haven't been able to access my Game Pass, which has made me very upset, because I cannot play my DMC. And when I can play my DMC, I get cranky. Anyway, Matt Booty came out. Booty. Now, one of the things that I am excited for, out of anything, that everyone should be talking about right now, is the Lego Star Wars the Skywars that has not been given enough love. A gem, if you will, that has been looked over. Lego Star Wars, the Skywars. I can't say it. I'm not redoing that. Okay, Lego Star Wars. Okay, look, I played the complete saga that it was called the first time when I was a child, and I will be stoked to play it for whatever this new one is. I wouldn't mind going back. Considering a lot of the modern day Lego games usually weren't as good. I think the Clone Wars was kind of the peak, and the Lego Batman games were actually the peak. But hey, I'm just an oldie. I'm an old veteran. 12 Minutes also looks like to be a very cool game. I think people forgot about it before they even saw it, but it's really cool. It's an interaction thriller, which is probably different. It's probably going to be at the lines of Telltale or Detroit Become Human, but just stylized differently. But the way that the trailer shows us, it could be shot like that the whole time from an over-the-top view, which is unlikely. Or it could be, humans. I don't know. It could look human. It could look gamey. I don't know. It could look very different. I don't know. Like I said, that trailer is very deceiving, and it could be a lot of things. Gears 5. Okay, a lot of the Gears things I saw in a row were just kind of boring. As somebody that has played some of the Gears games and never really got into them, I don't really see a point to jump on with Gears 5. As a newcomer, at least, I'm just not interested. Frankly, this wasn't appealing to me in the slightest. So, I'm sorry for people that love it, but Gears Pop is where I say no thank you. Another thing that I saw was the Elite Controller 2. That seems dope as hell. I have my own Elite Controller. Hold on, let me get it. Ugh. Yeah, as you can see, there it is. All of its glory. There you go. Yeah. So, I kind of like it, obviously. But I don't know, the Elite Controller 2 seems pretty interesting. It has, I like all the little new buttons and everything else that it's adding. Really neat. Price point is insane, but please, that will drop over time. The Elite Controller came out at a ridiculous price, but now it's like $20. So please, you're fine. Relax, it's probably going to come out. Dying Light 2 is pretty interesting. I may actually get that game, or, well, I'll have to play the first one first. So guys, we did it. The video game, State of Decay 2, actually looked terrible. I have no idea how to put it other than it looked like garbage. Like, honestly, it looked trash. Like, there was no cinematics or anything. They just did voiceovers over gameplay, and it looked bad. I'm sorry, it looks terrible. Or at least the way they're presenting it anyway. Crossfire X, that looks interesting. Borderlands 3, okay, I played the first Borderlands, didn't really get into it. New console, every time they talk about this new console, it's like they're trying to cure cancer. It's really irritating to me, because it's like, oh, yes, we need to make a new controller, guys. I mean, a new console. What do we do? How do we take it a step further here at Xbox? Well, you see, Phil, we can cure world hunger. It's like, what the fuck? Because the way that they talk about it is so unrealistic. Like, 120 frames per second. It's like, what? I mean, I don't believe that. It's like I don't not. I believe it, but in the same way, it's just like the way that they put it is just very, like, it seems very deceiving, almost in a sense, and it might be a failure. So it'll really depend, but a lot of gaming industries and a lot of companies in general are shifting towards the new hip way, which of course is the up in the cloud. So should be interesting. And then we have Halo Infinite. That's literally the only thing that is selling their consoles. And yeah, I don't really care much about Halo Infinite, mostly because of the fact that it didn't show us any real trailer other than another CGI trailer, which is a very, very big common theme in this in this industry. Wonderful. And it kind of killed it for me, honestly. I don't care. Look, they burnt me after Halo 5. Okay, I picked that up after my first Halo game into the series. I'm never going back, okay? Halo 5 was a monstrosity of a game. I cannot play through that. I cannot physically take the will and understanding to play through that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to. It's garbage. I'm not going to. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so overall, Microsoft's conference was pretty good. As a Game Pass user, I think I'm pretty interested. Mostly because a lot of things that they showed are on the Game Pass, which is really fucking neat. And obviously, if you have Game Pass, then they're mostly all there for free, which is spicy. And very nice. So if you're a Game Pass user, it's an absolute win for you. If you're looking for any new games, I don't think it's maybe your interest, but you're not going to honestly say that they didn't not win the conference by Keanu Reeves, Wind Over the Mountain Man, being there. So, so overall, I don't know, like 4 out of 5 or something like that. Alright, next up we have the Bethesda conference. Wow, what a garbage. I have not seen such a bad conference in a long time. I am not joking. This is actually the worst. And no wonder they had to pay an audience, or the employees of the audience, just to be there. Because, like, nobody's gonna sit there and honestly think this is good. This is all terrible. Like, look at the dislike ratio. Nobody liked this at all. I think it's so rare. Oh my fucking god. This conference was awful. Legitimately awful. I have never seen anything like this. Not because of the awkward moments or something like that. That's usually what makes the E3. But, like, there's this whole fake apologies. Like, you as gamers encourage us. You make us feel strong. It's like, well, okay, where's the fucking apology after 76? A lot of the people are genuinely pissed after that game. And rightfully so. It was poorly polished. It was certainly everything. I mean, it's not like normal in the gaming industry, but like to get away with it at such a rate. Oh my god. Anyway, so they just added a couple of things. A lot of it was mobile games. Just Bethesda. Listen to me. Just skip this year's conference. There was no purpose on being there, other than a few CGI trailers that you wanted to show, which is like, what, Deathloop, I guess, and that's Doom, I guess. And Doom's, most of it's being shown off at QuakeCon. What's the point? There's no point in being here, okay? If you have nothing to show, don't show anything. Okay? Because it seems so fake and bullshit. And besides, wait another year. You just came out after 76. Come on. Literally one of the worst games of all time. Anyway, so we have Origin, which is a new thing. Like I said, they all need to cure cancer with their upcoming stuff. So, I mean, it was terrible. Bethesda, 1 out of 5. It was bad. They took Commander Keen also. Something that was good and then putting into a fucking mobile game. Oh my god. Okay, mini rant here. Mobile game trailers are all awful. Okay, it's always about putting it in real life or something like that. Like you're suddenly in real life and you see something or something like that, and then you open your mobile device and there's dragons. It's like fuck you. No one's gonna do that. Really? Is that how deceitful you have to make your campaign? Fucking really? You can't just show a little montage or something like that? Other than that, you have to show a live action trailer. Look at him. He's like your typical person. He's just like you, man. It's just like you. And all of a sudden, you play this game. Whoa, man. Dragons, fire, warriors everywhere, dude. You won't see it coming. Buy your mobile game now. 1 out of 5. I don't want to even talk about this conference. It's awful.
About to start here from the Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles. Now the house is packed. And to give you folks at home an idea of what that feels like, can I please hear the balcony people make some noise? Now, if you please, I'd like to do the same for the people sitting on the ground floor.
Alright, next up we have Ubisoft. A very interesting conference, so to speak. A lot of this was stuff that they already showed off. I mean, I guess for some Ubisoft fans, mostly the ones that already have these games, this is kind of neat, I guess, for them. Mostly because they're just getting updates on stuff that they already know. Like, all this stuff that I'm seeing right now, it's all just games that have already been released, just adding upon it, which I guess that's neat. But I'm kind of fretful and interested now. I'm raising the eyebrows. The eyebrows go up because you remember that year, like it was like almost like an era almost where Ubisoft released games like Rainbow Six Siege, For Honor, you know, Ghost Recon, and all this other shit. And it was kind of almost exciting in a way, but we were also kind of taken back. It's like, Ubisoft, you're up to something. And this is kind of what they're up to. They're kind of just making a Blizzard kind of setup where they just release 1 or 2 games and then just add on everything else. Which I guess is fine, I guess, but it just seems dull and transparent, honestly. And Just Dance. Fucking hell. Anyway, let's talk about the few games that they actually released, or, you know, are releasing. Watch Dogs Legion. Okay, I don't like the politics in it, mostly because it's kind of weird, because, like, Brexit, a democratic vote, and then it leads to fascism. What? It's kind of like when people, like, obscurely compare to Trump, I guess. Not that I don't agree with some of their notions. I just, like, the way that it's, like, set up is just weird. Why don't you just make it about fascism? You don't even need to connect it to real life. Just make it about fascism. That's all you need to do. It's going to be a political game, and you know what's going to happen with the politics. It's wonderful, wonderful. We're going to have everybody on every political spectrum throw in their opinions, even though nobody cares, but wonderful. Thanks. The guy from It's Always Sunny from Philadelphia came out talking about his TV show. Ubisoft, yet again, out of touch with current day people, mostly because of the fact that current day people don't care about this, because they're there for the video games, and that was not indeed a video game. They also talked about Gods and Monsters and Roller Coaster Champions. Roller Coaster Champions looks exactly like Rocket League. It is a cardboard cutout of Rocket League, basically. It's just kind of with that setup. They're literally doing that. It's the music. All the music. Superstars. Anyway, it was awful. Gods and Monsters. Okay, I don't care. Mostly because it's the same people that made, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Okay. Then we had the, interesting shocker in the middle of all this. Uplay Plus. Guys, keep it up with these streaming services and we're gonna crash the entire market. No, seriously. I'm kind of at this point where we have so many gaming services. We have so many real life services with Netflix and all this other shit. We're gonna cause an economic crash if we keep this shit up. Okay, honestly. Think about it. Fucking hell. We've got everything everywhere, and then we're gonna have every, like, consumer spread out, and then nobody's gonna make money. And then we're gonna all crash, and we're gonna create the next Great Depression. Fucking hell. What is wrong with all these companies trying to go after this? And it's like, oh, over time, over so many years, we have collected all the games and blah, 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 blah. It's like, what the fuck? I don't care. I may get it for like a week, grab it, get out. I don't care. Get the free trial and play the games that I may want to, like, I don't know, for maybe like a Watch Dogs, or talking about the Watch Dogs series and how it has no identity whatsoever. Think about it. The first game was about a rogue vigilante. The second game is about, whoa, dude, like society. And then the third game's about, oh, we're taking over the fascist and the totalitarian state in Britain. What the fuck even is Watch Dogs at this point? The first guy. Right? Where's the first Watch Dogs guy? Is he even in the third game? I know he was a reference in Watch Dogs 2. Is that it? I turned it into 2 rants, essentially all in one. But anyway, we're gonna cause an economic crash with all these fucking streaming services. And when don't you come cry to me when you're like, oh my god, you were right, and I was like, fuck yeah, I was right. This is why we need anarchy. This is so sad. Anyway, but yeah. So UB Plus is coming. Nobody cares. No one's gonna use it. Hopefully, no one's gonna use it, and we're gonna pretend like that never happened. Mostly because why? Why do you need it? When you have Game Pass, when you have like over like a bazillion games each at at your fingertips, Uplay is what? What even is Uplay? Think about it. What are you gonna play? If you're a Splinter Cell fan, you already have all the Splinter Cell games. You're a Watch Dogs fan, you already have all the Watch Dogs games. Why do you need Uplay Plus, whatever? Why? Oh, by the way, somebody did something funny where they removed the L out of Uplay to Upay Plus. I think that kind of describes it more than I ever could. It's unnecessary payment. Everyone sees through it. Literally by removing one letter, everyone gets it. Okay? It's useless. No one's gonna buy it, because nobody cares. Yeah, 1 out of 10. Mostly because they took Sam Fisher and made him a mobile game. Thanks! I've been playing through the Splinter Cell games for years, and I was looking for another entry into the series. Now he's a mobile game. Wonderful. And he looks like his Roblox counterpart. Thanks.
Let's innovate.
Pressure, 60 pounds.
Right click pressure.
You're in.
Got it in. Thrust down. Right, can you go ahead and get the mask trousers up?
Get the clothes off.
Anyway, quick talk about Developer Digital. Very good. I love My Friend is Pedro. I really wanna play that game actually. The more that I see it, it's fucking neat. That official trailer was dope as fuck. It used the animation and everything. It was great. But yeah, Developer Digital, another great job. I don't know, like a 4 out of 5 or like I guess like a 4 out of 5. I've never really cared too much about their games themselves, but it's like the comedy that they put in after is what I really love, and that too in the Late Show. I want to watch that. I want to rewind and watch that whenever I can, because it was it's so great. It's special. If you haven't watched it, you can watch it. Check it out, please. Alright, Square Enix. So, as everyone says, there's only 2 games everybody wants, and that's about it. There's the one at the end and the one at the beginning. Anything in between, nobody cares about. Realistically, anyway. I have not seen a single thing that anybody cares about. Let's talk about the first 2, okay? That the people like, okay? Final Fantasy Remake. Obviously, people liked There, like for the funny thing is that I was actually gonna be a hater when this came out. I was gonna like to shit on the normies and stuff, but I was like what was it? It's like to slow down combat, and it was like haha fucking noobs. They can't even fucking add like hotkeys, that's what it was. I was gonna say they didn't even add hotkeys, and then like literally the next second they were like, oh, we've added hotkeys for you faster players that want in more intense action. I was like, well, I'm sold. But anyway, I like it. Boobs not big enough is the only criticism I've heard so far. Okay. I have never played any of the Final Fantasy games except for 15. I regretted that one. Why do I always get like into these series with the newcomers, like the newer ones, and they always suck for me? Like I don't understand. Like, can it just not suck? For the second game was Marvel's Avengers. Didn't really show any gameplay. The cutscenes look really off and weird. It looks like Spider-Man PS4, and I hate Spider-Man PS4. Anyway, yeah, I never liked the game. Especially the look of the game. It looks weird. It looks like they're all made out of clay and they've been like moist. They put moist over their like face and like they put oil all around them and they just like bathe them in it, and it's really weird. All the animations look like that, and they took out my boy Hawkeye. Why would you do this to me? Like the only person that I was looking for was Hawkeye. Why? Now I guess I'll have to get Ghostwire, huh? From Bethesda. I guess I'll have to now. Okay? Because that's the only Hawkeye I see. Where's my Hawkeye? It's an Avengers game. Where's Hawkeye? I'm not going to be able to play as my favorite lesbian boy. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. Marvel's Avengers at least is a creative story. At least, there's like, something bad happens. They blame the Avengers. They go into hiding. And then they come out of hiding to save the world. That's not really original, but it's something newer. I'm trying to be positive. Yeah, it's neat. I guess we're gonna have to see gameplay to know for sure. But it looks okay. I guess I don't know. Thumbs up. Okay. Everything else was just remasters. I shit you not. And then there was also Life is Strange 2. A very bad game, so to speak. I just if you haven't watch Adam plays his playthrough through Life is Strange 2. It will point out every single thing wrong, all the bugs, everything else is terrible. They didn't have any lesbians to pander to, so I guess they're gonna try and pander to furries, I guess. I don't know. That game is awful. And the thing is, too, is that they show, like, oh my gosh, it's so emotional, oh my gosh. And this is the thing, is like, other than those people, which they conveniently took out of context, which is really funny, all they showed was their facial cam. But everyone, pretty much, that isn't a shill, pretty much knows the fact that that game isn't good at all. It's just bad. And everybody else has had their, funny reaction of, wow, this game is honestly shit. So, yeah. I'll put that through your brain. Everything else, it's just a remaster. Dying Light 2, again, what? Sonic, Sega remakes. But yeah, when I was watching, I always, I made a fun of the whole show, with the people that were watching with me, and I said, wow, look at all these generic anime RPG games. I wonder what's up next. Another generic anime RPG game? Wow, I was correct. What a big surprise. And a lot of them were just remasters anyway, so what do I care? Anyway, so Square Enix, like a 3 out of 5, I guess? I don't know, those two games kind of make up for it, and even it's not that great, so 2 out of 5, I guess. I'll give it. Wasn't very good. I know people have been praising that one to high heaven, but they shouldn't, because it's not very good. Anyway, we also had Nintendo. I didn't watch very much of Nintendo's conference, actually. I saw, like, Banjo or something like that, Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't have the Switch, so I don't care. Yeah, there's Nintendo. Hooray. Question mark Noodles out of Noodle Samurai out of 2.5, redact the 6 over, and then fraction it by 5, and then divide it by 2, and then just put another divide symbol over 3, and then add garbage, and then add some gold, and then add just Breath of the Wild, and there you go. There's my opinions on those games. Hooray. Overall, E3 was kind of a mess. Actually kind of bad. And we didn't have any reveals like pretty much last year. DMC5 and all the others. Pretty much every game that came out that every year-long fan has been awaiting, except for Splinter Cell, pretty much came out last year or this year, so to speak. So it's all, I guess, it's not a very good year. Everyone's saying how E3's pretty much dying. And this can be the case, yeah, sure. So I'm kind of seeing it in that way too. Especially when our fucking market crashes because of all these streaming services like Origin now and the UB Plus. Wonderful, wonderful. We're not going to crash anything. You just keep on going, companies. You're not going to do anything harmful. Yeah, but overall E3 was kind of bad and just overall mediocre at best. The thing with E3 is that I waive my judgments until the end of it, until the games are actually released. But most of them have already been released, actually. So, let's just move on. I don't want to talk about E3. It's garbage. Let's talk about movies, shall we?
Maybe I should have tried to be more ordinary.
You were never ordinary.
Rocket Man. Anyway, so I watched 2 movies. I'm just going to be going over them briefly. One of them I will be probably covering in another Netflix video, but I probably won't be making another Netflix video, mostly because I myself kind of don't care, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so Rocket Man is a very good movie. I saw it in theaters, and you should see it too. It's a shame how this will do at the box office, mostly because it's a kind of a musical, and if anything that I know of, which people don't like musicals. Now, to be fair, I don't like musicals either. Musicals aren't my thing, but the story, well, not the story, the way that it handles its presentation is phenomenal. I love the musicals itself. Well, the music itself, mostly because this is the first time, if you've ever heard anything Elton John, it's actually fantastic. I actually went over to look at Elton John's music, and I was very impressed, mostly because of the fact that it was good, surprisingly. The plot is paper thin. The characters are pretty good. They're not as complex, but they're pretty good. This movie is not like The Dirt or something like that. I frequently compare this to The Dirt. But it's not like if something comes up, it's like it's dropped like really quickly. Like there's just like this is a thing with a character that has a romantic relationship, and then just kind of leaves. Like, and that's the last you see of that romantic interest ever again in the film. Okay. Things like that just kind of like come and go, and then they drop and go, and then it's like, okay, what happened to the... No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. But no, I could have... No, man. Don't worry about it. Rocket Man's a very good film, mostly because of the fact of its kind of metaphors, so to speak. Like, people floating into the air, people, like, turning into fireworks and exploding. Things like that are all very interesting. Anyway, this says that it's R-rated. It's not R-rated. In Canada, it's rated G. Anyway, there's, like, a whole thing about that. I guess the only thing you can put up there is the gay stuff and the... Sexy Manning, finally. I got to see some Sexy Manning in my movie. Pound him, daddy. Anyway. But yeah, so Rocket Man, very good film. If you're not much into musicals like I was, give it a shot. If you like this kind of material about like all the drugs and all the weird shit that they have to go through just in their daily life and how they can almost never recover. There's a lot of memorable lines in this. But yeah, overall, good film. Paper thin plot, mostly because everything's pretty kind of predictable in a sense, and it's kind of like, oh, you lay it up and then you fall down. It's like you literally get an instant payoff over certain things, so it makes the plot, very easy to see coming, one step after the other. But I like at this point, and there's certain points in the movie where it's just like he gets lower and lower. His life just gets worse and worse and worse. Anyway, but yeah, moving on.
You gonna lay there? Swallow that blood in your mouth? Or you gonna stand up and go spill theirs?
Hardcore Henry. If none of you have seen it, I don't know what to say to you. Okay, Hardcore Henry is a fantastic first-person shooter. The developer is Developer Digital, of course. They have made such a great gaming experience. I didn't even know that I was even, I didn't even know that I was in a video game. It felt like real life, honestly. It felt like real life. And to be honest, the gameplay was a bit lacking. I didn't actually play the game. That's kind of taken a few points back. But very, very good game overall. Would recommend to the whole family. But yeah, it's a very good film. Yeah, you know what? Fuck yeah, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video's jacket off. Oh shit, gotta get all the color in there. Anyway, jacket off. Then I encourage you to check out my channel. See all the other shitty videos that I've done, that I have made. New videos around the way. There's the Batman Most Wanted. I already have 90% of the scripts ready. And the and other videos coming soon. I promise. I already have one of them already done, and the second two are nearly done actually. So that will be coming out around the corner, and I'll make sure to keep uploads a bit more static, but that way I can release them. The last two videos I released in like the first week, more or less, or in 1 week, which I don't want to do. I want to do it where I can spread it out easier and just kind of like that way I can kind of keep up with the tide. That way there shouldn't be any long breaks like this. But anyway, Jacket Off is here to be the series to rescue my channel. Combo Mad coming never, and subscribe. And I beat my left nut so hard, and that I don't know. Anyway, smash that like button, bing bong that subscribe button, put your dick into that mouth click comment section. I don't know.